Good afternoon, Saturday afternoon. Chris Gamble here from Customised, another live video, the Home Tech Half Hour with myself. I'd like to thank everyone that got involved in the first episode, our pilot show almost. We took some great experiences from that, got some good feedback, lots of criticism, but I asked for it. And we're going to shuffle things around a little bit just to keep you on board. So, Home Tech Half Hour, live on Facebook, share it, like it, leave your comments, leave your questions. We're going to shuffle things around, as I said. We're going to start with the product spotlight. So we did our Twitter poll this week. If you remember, last week we did the Sonos One speaker. This week we ran a poll on Twitter for 4 days. We had Philips Hue LED strips, we had the Amplify Wi-Fi system, we had Ring Doorbell Pro, and we had the Logitech Pop button. Close again, this was a 3-horse race this time, but the Ubiquiti Amplifi Wi-Fi system came out on top, and we were really happy about that because it's a product we got a lot of love for. It produces great results for our customers. We're going to dive straight into the spotlight. After that, we'll do a Q&A. We've been sent a question from a follower on Facebook, and it's something we've responded to. We actually set up a call with this person, and it was just to discuss what wiring we would recommend for their home. They're doing a bit of a renovation, so I'll summarise what we went over with him. And finally we'll close out with a tech tip, and this week the tech tip will be on Philips Hue. So the winner of the poll, Amplify by Ubiquiti, comes typically as a kit. 3 items in the kit: the router and 2 wireless access points. The only wiring required with this system is a connection from your existing service provider's modem or router, connects into a port in the back of the Amplify router. You're not without Ethernet ports here. This provides you with 4 Ethernet ports. The setup of the system is all done via an app. So as part of the setup, you download an app for Android or iOS. Steps you through the process. Part of the setup is actually done via Bluetooth connection. It asks you then to connect one of the access points, and finally the second one. Now the app will give you feedback on how good the signal is, because the way this works is we have a wireless signal from the router to one of the access points. We have a signal strength meter on the front here, plus the app also gives us feedback. Position this on a normal socket, a normal outlet, and position it where it's, maybe you want it out of sight, maybe you want it in a cupboard or something. If you've got that convenience of a socket hidden, perfect. The second one can either mesh through this one back to the router, but typically you would hope to get a connection back from each access point to the router. So quite techy there, but really the ultimate benefit of this system is, and we've tested a lot of mesh Wi-Fi systems, the range on this product is phenomenal. If you're pulling your hair out on a daily basis about Wi-Fi coverage in your home from your service provider's router, get in touch with us, I would recommend, but we know these products are freely available on all your online stores. This will cover your average 3-4 bedroom home, UK home. This will cover it and more. You will find you may have connection now out onto the driveway of your home, the rear garden, depending on how you position these in the house. You're going to have a router with improved security features, and in a moment I'm going to take the camera and show you this system powered up. We've actually enjoyed using this product so much that when we did our new office, which you can see in the background, we chose this product to do the Wi-Fi in our office. We have got wiring in place, but I thought, if I want to put my neck on the line with this product and convince clients and customers that they should be using this kind of system, I'm going to run my business off the back of it. And actually, it's been a fantastic experience for me to manage our network and create things like guest Wi-Fi, which is a great benefit for a homeowner and also businesses to have a guest network, which is a higher level security in that people on the network can't see each other and mess with other products on the network. And in some cases we put smart devices on the network that just require a cloud connection. So again, getting a little bit techie there, the overall benefit is the Wi-Fi coverage, the essential service for modern life, the frustrations that we get with from customers that have poor Wi-Fi, and we're brought in to get that ideal signal strength all around the home. This is the product we use if there is no wiring in place. It's a shame that even houses being constructed right now in the UK have no preparation for technology, no wiring going in. So as a business, we have to use these wire-free products. If the home did have wiring, then there are different products we'd use. But okay, there's going to be a slight jumpiness of the camera. I'm going to spin around and grab the camera. I'm going to take you to show you our system in place here. So bear with me, guys. So Home Tech Half Hour goes mobile. Really appreciate the comments. Once I've gone through this little spotlight, I will answer some of the questions we've had, okay? If you've got any questions for the tech Q&A later, please start posting. So spin the camera around. So here's the Amplify router powered up. If I take you around the back, sorry, you can see we've got a connection, one connection to our internet service provider's modem, and we've actually just got one connection out to a network switch. So the reason we've done that is we've got multiple connections for computers, printers, cameras, IP telephones, VoIP phones. So on the front you've got this very futuristic looking LED backlight around the bottom, and you've got this touch screen on the front, which in its normal state displays the time and date. This can be turned off. It can be scheduled to turn off for so many hours within the day. The LED light can be turned on and off, and actually the brightness can be altered as well using the app. If I hit the touch screen, it gives me some information on the amount of data that we've used. It's something you might have to get your head around, people to decipher what it means, but from these figures I can see we've downloaded 139 gigabytes of data and uploaded 73 gigabytes in a period from December 1st to today. And that might be useful if you've got data constraints. Maybe you're on a satellite broadband connection, 4G connection, and you're wanting to monitor that data. For people on a typical ADSL or fiber connection, we don't have the threat of data expiring. But this is useful information to see. Here it gives me my IP address, which again is a bit techie. I'm not going to go into town on that. But at the bottom there, I can see, if you can see there, we've got 10 devices connected on Wi-Fi and 11 devices on a wired connection. I can see my current consumption. We're doing a live stream, so that's actually pumping out just over 1 megabit per second upload and downloading. Again, probably just from this live stream, and maybe a little bit of television we've got on, but minor, a small amount there. But again, real time feedback there. I can see that I've got a connection to the internet and I'm using one output, and we come back to the home screen. So from there, I've just got a little bit of information about what's happening on my network. Next, I'm going to show you, to be fair, in our office that could probably cover us, but I wanted to add an access point. So if I take you down, here we've got a standard double socket, UK socket. We're about 10 meters from our router, and even at 10 meters, and we're in an old building, brick walls here, we're seeing full signal strength. So we've got all 5 blue LEDs. We've got this antenna is actually directional, so I can move it about. It's magnetic. So to get maybe an optimum signal, you might find, see as I move it about, I've actually lost one of my LEDs there. So I'm keeping that fully vertical. So it goes into a 13 amp socket. Not happy with the performance, move it to another outlet. The app, which I'm going to try to show you the app, but it's going to be difficult. What I'll do a YouTube video, post up a screenshot and commentate on the Unify app. Okay, so from that 2 devices, we've covered an office which is not huge, but we have full strength right through the office. We have guest network for people visiting, customers if they want to get on Wi-Fi. We benefit from having coverage actually right out onto the street to the car park where we're parked and where we load vehicles up for our staff, which is really cool that you can get Wi-Fi well outside the building. For the larger home, we have found that 2 access points are needed. We have found in a smaller apartment, just the router's needed. In itself, very good wireless range, dual frequency, and if needed, add 1 extra module. Now, we've pushed this as far as 6, and that was for a huge home that had no wiring, but was very big, almost like stately home. And feedback from the customer was awesome. We had such good feedback and a review from the client that we really pulled their home into this century. And before, they'd tried some other service providers and other products, they'd done the DIY thing and nothing had ever really worked for them. So we came in, we did the installation, and with 6 of these in the router, we did it in less than 2 hours, and the invoice reflected that, that speed of installation. So just to recap, this plugs into your existing internet service provider's modem. Once this is in charge of the Wi-Fi, turn the Wi-Fi off on your service provider's modem. I'm just going to have a look now at any questions we've had. So I can see we've got 4 live viewers, which is brilliant. We've got TJ commenting that Amplify HD is very popular in the US, and I appreciate you tuning in, TJ, today. I know it's very early in the morning there. I appreciate your support. That's some proof there that this is a global product, and it's providing a solution for Wi-Fi coverage, not just in the UK. So you can see the heritage and the provenance of the product there. Bruno's joining us. What about the ping? We've not noticed any high ping rates, but again, we've had no complaints about that, but it's not something we would typically monitor, the ping speed, unless there was complaints of any lag. Also quite a techie question there, and I'm sure we could do some testing, and we can video that for you. TJ again, a client there with no issues using it, so that's great to hear. We've had the same response. David, tuning in from the Highlands of Scotland, appreciate you tuning in again, David. Do the access points have an Ethernet port on them? They actually don't, and to be fair, that's probably one of the downsides of the product, in that you can't wire off of that maybe to a set-top box or another network switch that might be in a media cabinet, so you may want to hardwire smart TV, Apple TV, Roku, things that have an Ethernet port. That's an unfortunate feature. However, you can have multiple routers and make the second one an access point. So then this one would be at your service provider. You could have another one of these meshing to do the Wi-Fi coverage, but have some Ethernet ports out. We've not tried that, but I have seen some case studies where you can have multiple of these, but one is ultimately the router and the other one can be network switch / wireless access point. So some great questions there. How are we doing for time? That's good. We've done about 15 minutes, and I want to increase the amount of time we spend on the product spotlight. Please leave comments about the Wi-Fi system. Give me some examples of what your Wi-Fi is like and how you're experiencing Wi-Fi from just maybe your service provider's router. Have you used other Wi-Fi kits over the years? I know people have got stories of using home plugs and wireless extenders, and these are typically things that we're removing from people's homes when we install these Amplify kits, and it's because they've never really given them the solution that they wanted, and it was that seamless Wi-Fi single network name. They don't, often with extenders you may be going into your network settings of your mobile phone or tablet and changing to a different Wi-Fi name, or you're finding your devices are still connected to the router, which is quite far away, but you want it to jump onto the access point or the extender that you put in, and sometimes you have to force that maybe by turning Wi-Fi on and off. So not a great experience, and for us the Amplify system creates a really positive experience with home technology. We had a question come in via email from somebody, and I wanted to just expand on it. The person's about to begin a renovation project in their home, just of a couple of rooms, but after watching us on Twitter and Facebook and things, they wanted to, maybe just a bit of freebie information, but they wanted to know what wiring to put in and how to discuss that with their electrician, where they could maybe purchase the product. So we told them that they're definitely thinking of the right approach here. If you are doing any major work where you can run cables, definitely look at putting in some wiring that's going to give you some future readiness in the home. The wiring is typically for services like entertainment, telephone, internet, and security. That's typical wiring requirements. So where you have a television, please make sure that you provision it with a minimum Cat5e, a couple of Cat5e cables, a minimum of 2 really will give you some connections. If you want to increase the capacity that cables can carry, then look at better cable types like Cat6, Cat6A, and really the upper limits at the moment would be a Cat7 cable. And all those types of cables are just capable of handling more data, more bandwidth. And now we're in this era of 4K streaming. Around the corner soon we're looking at 8K video. You've got to consider the amount of data that's passing through these cables. So with my sensible head-on, Cat6 minimum really, put that in. Take it back to where you maybe have your router already and centralise all that wiring there. That same type of cable, Cat6, can also be used where you want to have a wired wireless access point, if that makes sense. Wireless access points traditionally have an Ethernet input powered over the Cat6 cable and would wire back to your router or a network switch. Again, centralising these cables back to one place. Make sure you put the appropriate cables in for television, whether you want traditional Freeview, take that to the existing aerial equipment that's maybe in the loft. Satellite TV, either take the cables to a satellite dish location that you might already have, or try and route the satellite cables back to a central place where all your wiring's going, and take your TV wiring back to there as well. So that would give you the ability to possibly put your Skybox in a central location in the home, so you can distribute it to multiple TVs. If you take it direct from dish to the TV, you are restricting the options. Your Skybox or Virgin Box or whoever your service provider, you may be limiting yourself to just having the box always there, and it's always then difficult to get that TV source to other rooms in the house. Other cabling that we discussed with them was using Cat6 also for cameras. Identify where you may want to cover front and rear of the house, sides of the house with a security camera. Use Cat6 for that cable type as well. It may be that you aren't the person that installs the camera, but your installer of security products, CCTV, will definitely thank you for pre-wiring the home with some Cat6 to camera positions. If you want music system, like a surround sound system, background music system, think about running speaker cable to maybe the ceiling or wall positions where you want to have in-ceiling or on-wall speakers. Think about heights of these things now so that you're not left with speaker outlets down at low level where you may have wanted to mount a speaker on the wall. Think about heights of TV outlets and positions of TV outlets where would you want to have a TV? Typically now we're putting them on walls. We're not putting them in corners. We're making features of our nice big 50-inch plus size TVs. Really think and research if you're going to have things like projectors and screens, drop-down screens, things like that. You've really got to plan that. And that's when you're starting to think about these kind of services, like maybe you're going to have a home cinema, maybe a distributed music system, maybe you want a wired Wi-Fi system. You're in the realms then of requiring a technology professional, a home tech pro, somebody like Customised, that's going to provide you with a simple design to aid the electrician to run the cables. They're going to support you through selecting the products for the systems you want. They're going to then set it up professionally. They're going to show you how to use it. And most importantly, after it's all finished and you've moved in, they're going to support you. They're going to maintain that system for you and service it. So if you think you're pushing the limits to beyond a do-it-yourself setup, then definitely seek out a home technology professional. Probably the easiest way to find one is through CEDIA, who are a trade organisation for home technology pros. There's a find a member search engine there, so look under your postcode and things like that. So I hope that's kind of covered a little bit of what wiring's needed. Somebody may say, Chris, we need some fibre optic. That's something that's that's worth doing, but again, it's not really a DIY purchase. You know, you're not going to go out and buy some fibre and start running it into the walls. So I would hold back from saying for the DIY renovator on fibre, you need some experience with that cable type. You need to know what you're doing with it. So that's where your home tech pros needed. But for sure now in our projects, we're starting to put fibre optic into strategic positions in the home. This is us preempting an 8K future, so high resolution television. How are we doing for time? Hey, we've got 4 minutes left. Here's the tech tip. For owners of Philips Hue, I see on forums so often, sometimes my light has no response, sometimes it's disconnected, and you look down the comments, and time again, it's the location of the Philips Hue hub. You may have it in a TV cabinet, you may have it in a closet cupboard in your home, you may have it too close to your Wi-Fi equipment, your router. Give it some space, give it some room to stretch its signal. You know, don't hide it in a cabinet. Get it on top of the cabinet. Don't have it in the corner of the home. Get it in the middle of the home. Now, the reason why people are often restricting the location is because it needs an Ethernet connection. Well, you're just going to have to run a Cat6 cable between your router and a central position in your home for the Philips Hue hub. You're not going to get the experience of this really awesome lighting system without locating that hub right in the heart of the home. Give your light bulbs the best possible opportunity. If you're an owner of Philips Hue, review where the hub is positioned. You will dilute the experience of that system by not positioning the hub in the right place. So that's just something I picked up on Facebook. There was a lot of people complaining about their Philips Hue hub. So I hope that little rant maybe will prompt people to review that. We're at the end of the show. We've done the Home Tech Half Hour, episode 2 done. Episode 3, same time next week. Twitter poll coming on Monday for the spotlight. Share this video once you see it posted. I would love to see viewing numbers increase over the next few days. Give me feedback on the show. I hope it's been a little bit less of a train crash from the first one. I appreciate all the live viewers. We've managed to hold an audience for half an hour. Really appreciate the questions. If you want us to feature your question on next week's Q&A, tweet us, direct message us, messages on Facebook, and like and follow our pages. I appreciate everybody watching. We've managed to squeeze it into a half hour. Everyone have a great weekend, and I'll speak to you next Saturday. Take care.